to a new episode of Nonstop Nikhil. Welcome to December 31st, the last day of this year. After already having such an adventurous, such an interesting past 2 months, I'm not one to slow down for the last day of the year. I've got a very interesting, packed day today because we're actually going to leave Stone Town again. So my goal for today is to use the Tanzanian public transportation system to take a shared minibus leaving Stone Town, where I am right now, to head to the village of Fukuchani, which is north here on the road leading to Nungwi, which is a popular beach resort town. And then from there we're going to check out local village life here on Zanzibar, because not everything on this island, in this archipelago off the coast of the Tanzanian coast, looks exactly like life in the tourist hub of Stone Town. And then from Fukuchani, we're about a 15-20 minute bus ride from the popular tourist hub, the beach town of Nungwi. In the evening, take a bus straight back down the coast to Stone Town, where we can enjoy our evening, find somewhere to celebrate New Year's Eve, and welcome 2023. If you're planning on taking advantage of the public transportation system, you need to know that depending on the direction which you're traveling from the center of Zanzibar city, that's exactly going to determine which stop or which terminal you use for departing from the Stone Town area. The convenient thing is that if you're heading north along the northern coast, like most people leaving Stone Town, then the terminal is actually pretty close to the center of the city, so it won't be more than a short walk from your hotel. So leaving Stone Town, heading along the Nungwi Road to the north coast, all you have to do is leave from this area, which is Darajani Market. You can actually see it on Google Maps too. It just says Dala Dala Terminal for Darajani Market. You just need to find that spot and then you'll be good for finding all the minibuses. So I just took the Dala Dala about an hour or so to arrive here at the village Fukuchani. I just got down, but the thing I realized is when I got down is that there's no reception here. So without reception, I can't seem to call the host to let him know that I'm here. The meeting time was 11 a.m., but they're like, we're very flexible about it. You're out here in the village, so whenever you get here, you get here. But the thing is, I'm here now, and I don't know how to contact him. But it looks like such a small, just like on the side of the road spot. I figured everybody would just know everybody, so I'm just standing here at the mosque on the side of the road and see if they can take me to him, or at least let the guy know that I'm here. So this is what this is. I guess in the meanwhile, okay, there's some people here. Maybe I'll just go up and ask right now. So I showed the photo of the guide to some guys here who are waiting along the side of the road, and they like pointed me this direction. I don't know if that means he lives down here, or I don't really know what it could really mean anything. But why not? Let's just walk down this path here into the village. In the meantime, I guess I can tell you more about my Dala Dala experience. The Dala Dala can take one of two forms. It can either be a typical minibus with passenger seats, or it can be a sort of pickup truck which is carrying goods on top, and then the trunk is kind of arranged so that it has benches all around it, and you're basically just sitting facing all the other passengers for the duration of the trip, which can be kind of awkward. So mine was the latter, so I got to awkwardly stare at everyone. They got to stare at me. And the bus does go all the way to Nungwi, so I know I can catch that if I actually do want to go to the beach after my stop here. Ironically, I walked away from the road and further into the woods and the villages and the residences here, and I was able to pick up a little bit of a signal. So I made the call, Combo picked up, and he said he should be coming to meet me shortly. But telling you a little bit more about the Dala Dala system, if you're willing to go for the ride, if you're willing to sit through the sort of African style of public transport, which I've been taking you through in every country so far, then it's definitely an option for you. It's almost a flat charge of 2,000 shillings wherever you want to go outside of Stone Town. So I only paid 2,000 shilling to get from Stone Town all the way to the north of the island. And how it works is you basically just identify the conductor of the vehicle you need to get on. There are pretty established routes. They have numbers, so if you know the number in advance, or if you ask people what the number is, that will make your job much, much easier. You get on, you take a seat, you do not pay until you're sitting, you're moving, you're traveling, and then the conductor sort of addresses everybody and says, hey, it's time to pay right now. And then the passengers will start paying one by one until it's your turn. You pay the same 2,000 shilling, you wait, you get your change at the end, and then you disembark. Everybody will warn you that you do not pay up front before you get on the vehicle. You do not pay to anybody who is not widely recognized as the conductor of that vehicle, because people are going to ask, have you paid? Are you going to pay now? Just to you. They're going to target you in the hopes that they can just take that money and then run with it, or they can charge you whatever amount, but that amount will not actually go to the conductor in whatever profit they can off the top of it, out of the hopes that you do not know that you should only be paying that flat 2,000 to the conductor. So don't fall for those scams. I know somebody did try to ask me if I had paid, and a woman right next to me was like, yeah, you don't pay these people. But other than that, if you are completely patient, if you're willing to be squished a little bit, think about maybe 20 people sitting in the back of one of these pickup trucks, then you should be completely fine to use this Dala system. It's extremely safe. There are established routes. There are a lot of other people on it who are using it, women, children, men. So definitely it's approachable, it's useful, and if you're a solo traveler, it's unbeatable for the price, because had I taken a private taxi on the same route, it would have cost almost $50. However, I did it for under $1. So I finally found Combo.
Yeah.
It's tough because it's hard. There's no, so the signal isn't very good.
Yeah,
on the
nice.
phone, sometimes it's hard,
Yeah,
right?
Nice. Yeah.
It's, yeah.
Good, yeah.
And I finally found him. And now it looks like there's some caves here. There are all these signs pointing to caves. So we're gonna go see the caves, see the village, see how another side of how people live here in Zanzibar, which is not just the trading town of Stone Town. And you were born here?
Yeah, I'm
you
born
live here
here,
your
yeah.
whole life?
Yeah, I'm born here. My parents all they from here. My father is from here. My mother also they from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
There are paths here in the middle of the forest. It's really interesting. So you feel like you're out in the middle of the forest, but no, it's actually like a residential area. You see little areas where people are living, people are doing their daily life, and they've also constructed this little path right here. After a bit of a hike through the woods, so we've reached an area with actual houses. This is all part of the village here. This is part of the village? People live here?
This is a small village.
Oh, okay.
But there is a big village.
Oh, okay. So it looks like all these buildings we're passing right now so far is not the actual village. We still have to go further inland into the woods to reach the actual village. Imagine you have to like take this hike in order to get down to the road to have access to the rest of the country. But you have to take this hike if you live over here to have access to the road, to have access to the rest of the island, to transport goods and people, and like hiking across these rocks and small paths in my flip-flops and out in the sun. It's a tough time. Ooh, it's very hot here, Kombo. Yeah.
Now
Yeah. Oof. I'm not surprised that there's nobody else out walking around right now. Most people will stay inside right now, right? Oof. Yeah. So apparently there are two roads. There's the one road that I came on, and there's another road on the other side. And then this path through the main village here works as a shortcut. So this whole structure was actually built by the Portuguese out in the middle of the forest. And obviously what were they using it for? They were using it to capture enslaved peoples from the inland areas here in Zanzibar, capture them, detain them here, and then you're not too far from the sea anywhere you are here in Zanzibar. So capture them, detain them here in this home. You can see the different cells. They're really small. They have rooms for the humans to be chained. There are no windows and the like, so no amenities at all. If you're an enslaved person, keep them here, and then you can then the humans can then be transported to the nearby beach and be moved anywhere to other Portuguese settlements along the Indian Ocean. You know, you can go north up to Mombasa, you can go south to Mozambique, and each of these cities along the ocean were another port for the exchange of enslaved peoples. So the building here also has room for 2 Portuguese soldiers. So it has soldiers' quarters, which have a little more amenities than the other enslaved people cells that we saw earlier. And you can see exactly how much of a dynamic area this would have been. There are little holes in the walls where the Portuguese would be stationed and watching out for offenses conducted by the Arabs, who would also want to control the slave trade in this area of East Africa. So another draw to the village here is this actual grotto of some sort. There's like a cave with a bunch of water down here. It's actually quite beautiful. And so Kombo was telling me that it's a mix of the ocean water. So when the water is high tide in the ocean, there's going to be a lot of water here. When it's low tide there, it's low here. But it's not actually salt water. It's water mixed with the groundwater. Yeah. So you can actually use it. It's potable. There are no snakes, no sharks.
Yeah, no.
Nothing's going to come and get you, and the water is nice. So people actually come here and like swim and the like, and use the water for their daily household activities as well. So we're gonna go take a dip because I'm like drenched in my own sweat right now. That was amazing. It's exactly what I needed. After walking around town, then sitting on the bus, and then doing this hike, just feeling completely refreshed. I can't imagine that people don't get in there and take a dip every day if they live right here in the village. I'm also surprised that there aren't a lot of tourists there. If you go to some of these grottos, like they have, I've been, you know, if you go in Mexico, if you go in the Dominican Republic, it's just full of tourists everywhere. And I had the whole place to myself. So it's these kind of like small hidden places you've got to visit. So it's a pretty steep climb up from the water up to the village. Apparently this is exactly what villagers do when they carry water for household activities from the cave up to their homes. So they carry it on their head. Yeah? They balance it. Can't imagine. If you're just driving on the road from Stone Town or from the airport up to Nungwi, you wouldn't even realize you're passing by all of this because it's so hidden in the jungle, in the woods. And there isn't a lot of signage for it either. It just depends on if you know somebody in the know. So at the higher elevation here is the actual big village. Big in the sense that it houses up to 10,000 people. Yeah, Kombo keeps pointing out all the different types of plants growing here. Yeah, avocados. They're very expensive in America. I shouldn't be surprised, but even out here in the middle of nowhere, there are at least 2 goals set up. So they've created a little soccer field out of this immensely empty space. But we're actually not here to look at the remote soccer field. We're looking here for the big baobab tree.
Yeah, baobab tree. Just they were 2,000 years old. My grandfather is telling me.
2,000 years old.
Yeah, very old.
And what does the baobab tree, like, what does it signify?
Yeah.
Is it important in the culture here?
For some people, they come in here, they pray.
They pray?
Yeah, say here have a God. But they believe.
It's a belief, like the local beliefs.
Yeah, but the leaf also they use for eating, just as they're cooking like the vegetable. Yeah, also food they eat.
Oh, okay. After walking in such a dense jungle for a little bit, it's easy to forget that you're on an island. So you're never too far away from the water, and here on the north coast of Zanzibar, that means that you're gonna have the white sand beaches, the beautiful blue waters, and you just got a peek of it over the bushes over there, and I'm like, oh wow, I'm on an island. We just made a brief stop at Kombo's family's home, and I'm not a big fan of anything coconut, but it's hot, and if I'm having someone personally climb up this tree to fetch me a coconut, sure, I'll give the coconut water a try. There are only two instruments being used in this whole operation. That is the rope between the feet to give you some support and leverage to climb up the tree, and the second is the machete waiting for us down here when you drop the coconuts and then can carve them to extract the water. Just about 2:30 p.m. I completed the last leg of my journey from Fukuchani to Nungwi right now. I'm struggling to walk in these flip-flops on these roads. It's on these roads in flip-flops in this heat when you also haven't eaten all day. Get something to eat and then maybe spend an hour or two here and then do the same. Grab the public transportation, the dala back to Stone Town myself. I think I should be approaching the beach right now. If you look at it, it's just like one entire beach town. But if you look in the right corners, there's still so much authentic daily life going on here. I just made one turn because I heard Quranic chanting, and there was just a bunch of like really, really young kids, boys in full-on Omani outfits, sitting and reciting the Quran. Here on a Sunday afternoon in Nungwi, when you make a turn and you've got people in bikinis and Speedos here for the beach. So everyone has their own reason for being here in Nungwi for sure. I'm just walking on the beach and I think I'm gonna find somewhere to get some food because I am so anxious right now. Once I can do that, then I can actually enjoy myself a little bit and you won't get this like me speed talking about my day and how annoyed I am with walking in these flip-flops through half of Zanzibar. With its rating as one of the best beaches in the world, Nungwi is full of sun and beach vacationers. That's not surprising. I mean, look how gorgeous the water is. It's sunny, it's hot, there are a ton of amenities here to take care of your stay. But at the same time, Nungwi wasn't always like this. Up until the 1990s, this city's claim to fame was its manufacturing of the traditional wooden boats, those that you sometimes see on the water here. Other than that, it also served for other maritime commercial activities such as fishing, and overall serving as another area for commercial activities adjacent to Zanzibar city. For my own purposes, a stop in Nungwi for just about a couple of hours has been great enough to just pick up some food, have a cocktail, sit by the ocean, and look at this blue water. But for me, I think I'm feeling like a beach is a beach is a beach, even though this is probably the best beach I've seen so far on my trip. But I don't need to spend more time here. I think I'm ready to catch another dala public transport minibus back to Stone Town in order to get ready and get set for our New Year's Eve plans.